Today, what I'm going to do is show you how you can use RSS feeds to automate your content distribution. So we talked about yesterday creating like a newsletter for your blog that you can send out to people, but you would at this point have to manually send this out. But I want to show you how you can use the blog RSS feed to not only send your email list an email with the blog content automatically as soon as you upload the blog, but you can also use that RSS feed in the social media planner to schedule it to all of your different social media channels. So I wanted to show you how to do that today. I also wanted to share with you the update of my event funnel. I wanted to give you the little sneak peek of how I redesigned it and the whole back end and everything. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Let's get started. So if you guys remember, or if you were not in open office hours yesterday, I showed you how to create this subscribe element on your blog. This is the back end of this. As we discussed yesterday, this is actually just an element that you can grab over here. It's called subscribe to mailing list. You can add it there and you can customize all of it. Now, we did build out the automation for this, and I did add on a little bit to the automation. So I wanted to make sure as well that you know what I did and how. But like you see here in this element, that as soon as someone subscribes here to this, it's actually going to add this tag. And it says here, automate blog updates with tags and email campaigns. So it's telling you to do what I'm getting ready to show you to do and use the RSS feed. Okay. Now, we can trigger other automations based off of this tag as well. So if I go into, let me let in a couple people. So if I go into that workflow, you can see this workflow actually starts when that blog tag is added. Okay. So the very first step here, and you'll notice on my page here, it says, get notified when we upload a new blog post or coaching session inside our free community. Okay. So remember, everything that we do, we want to use our community as our lead magnet. It's how we're going to get people into our network and educate them on our product or service. That way they can decide if this is a good fit for them or not without us having to use our time to do that. I want to invite them to the free community. Of course, there are courses in there. So I'm inviting them to the free community. I'm also granting them access to the course. Okay. Now, this is all based on when they submit this form here, it adds the tag automatically based on the form submission. That triggers this workflow. We're granting them access to the group, the course offer, and then we're sending them an email and saying, thank you for subscribing. I wanted to thank you for subscribing to our newsletter. And then we are giving them the magic link for the community that we invited them to. Okay. So that's that part there. Now, the next part, though, you'll see here, I did update the contact field for newsletter approved. Like I told you guys, I like to use custom fields and track in my list cleaning. I add, newsletter status approved here. And then the plan chosen is my free community. Okay, so I wanted to make sure to update those custom fields. That's just my system and how I track everything. Now, the next thing, though, is the if-else conditional logic for the first name. Because you see here in this email, I put visionary because this form does not have a first name field here. Now, if I wanted to add a regular form, of course, I could do all of that. Okay, you could design it, you could customize it, you could add whatever forms or fields you want to here. But using this specific element, we don't have the ability to add that field. So what I wanted to do in this email is just type in visionary in place of the first name because we are visionaries, right? Now, the next step, though, is to filter because I don't want to override. Okay, I want to update that first name field because it's going to go, they're getting access to the community and all of those things. And any communications that I have that go out, I always use that first name custom value. And so if that's empty, it'll just be like, hey there, space, comma, and it just looks really weird. So what I wanted to do is update that field with the first name, okay? But I don't have their first name, maybe, all right? So what I want to do is I want to create a conditional logic step that says, do we have their first name? So yes, we do have their first name if the first name field is not empty, okay? So obviously the none branch would be that we do have their first name. So if we do have their first name, nothing's going to happen, which is exactly what I want. I don't want to override someone's profile with something else that's not their name. Like if they're already maybe a member or whatever, I want to make sure I don't override that. But if we do not have their first name, then what I want to do is I want to update the first name field, and I'm just going to put this in here. Now you could use any of this info here that you have. Like if you wanted to use the email address, essentially you could do that, but I don't want to use that. I don't want to say, hey, their email address. I'm just going to say visionary. So that's kind of my placeholder for the first name. Just wanted to share that with you in case you run into that issue or you have that question. Of course, in this workflow, you can do anything that you can do in normal workflows. So since I'm inviting them to my free community, maybe at this point, I want to invite them or I want to send them to my free community workflow. And that way I don't have to like add all of my onboarding information. So I could just add them to that workflow here if I wanted to. Okay. So that is the workflow there. Now let's dive into the automation part so that we can use that RSS feed to send emails and post to our social media channels. So here inside the blog builder, I'm going to go here to the settings, and inside the settings, you'll see this tab here for the RSS feed. So I want to copy this link here, and I want to take this to my email builder or my email system. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click here to create a new email. I'm going to click blank. We'll use the design editor. And all we're really doing here is creating a template, okay? Now, I should have, I guess, essentially, instead of creating an email, I should go back and change this and create a template. So I'm going to create a blank template here. It doesn't really matter because we're only setting this up one time, okay? So I'm going to remove this. Let's go ahead and add this text here. We can say whatever we want to, like here are the blog updates. And we'll just delete this. But the key part here is this element for the blog items and the header. Now, the blog header will say something like this, okay? It'll say whatever the title of your blog is and then the description of your blog. So you can choose whether or not you want to put that on there. The actual blog content, though, is going to be the items, all right? So we're going to just drag this RSS item here. And there are different options over here. So you can determine what you want the blog to look like, or what you want the email to look like rather, and what information you want to pull in. So you can just pull in the excerpts with an image, just the title, the full content of the blog, or you could actually use this to create custom content. Okay. So whichever you prefer, it's up to you. I'll show you how to test and see what it all looks like here in just a second. Now, of course, you want to design this and make it look good, okay? So maybe we want to remove this. And if you have saved elements here like I do, it makes it really easy. So we're just going to drag in my header. Let's go over here to the saved element. We're going to drag in my footer. All right, and now we have our whole email. So now I'm just going to save this template. I could also click here and add the settings here for the default settings for the from name, the from email, the email subject, and preview text. And I could also use custom values for that as well if I wanted to. Let me go ahead and just call this RSS demo so I know which one this is. And let's save this again because I obsessively save, and let's go back. All right, so we created our template. Let's actually set up the campaign now. So I'm going to go here. We're going to choose your templates, and let's choose the RSS demo. So I'm going to click here. And now we want to send and schedule. We're going to choose the RSS schedule here. And here is where we need to put that feed URL. So just in case you forgot, let's go back here. I'm going to copy that. And now we're going to go into the email and paste that in. Now we want to determine how often do we want to send this email. So if you are uploading a blog every single day, maybe you want to do it every day, every week, or every month. It's up to you. Maybe you just want to send the email every single month and you want it to have, to bring in all of your blog posts, which you need to structure here. Okay. So if you don't have an RSS feed, you can click here, give it a title, select the specific blog because you could have many, how many posts you want to show up when the RSS feed like pulls in the data. I like to do one because if I'm going to send it every week and I'm only uploading one blog post, you would just choose one, or you could do 25, whatever you want to do. And then you can decide, do you want to load the full content from the blog or not? You can determine that here by the checkbox. So this says it will include the full text of each blog post in the RSS feed, unchecked to include only summaries for faster loading. You can also grab your link here once you configure it, or it's the same link here, okay? So we're going to determine, let's say every week, if I upload my blog on Wednesday, maybe I want to send it on Thursday, and then I can choose the specific time. I can also put the number of feeds here. So again, I can put one, and then I can put my from or my sender email here, the sender name, the subject line I can add for the blog. So if you were doing this and setting it up on autopilot, you likely want this to be something universal, like check out our latest updates or something like that. You can add preview text, but here's the important part down here. Since we have that registration area, when they fill that out, it adds that blog tag. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are sending this RSS feed to those people who have the blog tag. So I'm just going to click here and select the blog tag. Now, we could also send it to any other people. So if we wanted to send it to all of our newsletter participants or whatever, any other list or tags that we wanted to send to, we could definitely do that. Here with this tag, I only have 2 contacts here, so it's only going to send to those people. Now, down here, this is an important thing to note because I do get this question a lot. When you set this up, you're going to set this up one time and it's going to send every single week. Every time you add a blog, it's going to send an email with that blog content every Thursday at 10 a.m. In this case, it will have the latest blog post, just one, and it'll have this subject line, and we're sending to these people. But what happens what happens if I set this up today and then next week I have 4 more people that are in the list? If I did not want to send this blog to those people, I would want to keep this here. So no, only send to contacts currently linked with these tags. But I want to send it to all the new people who continue to sign up for the blog forever. So I'm going to choose this option here, yes, include them, because next week I want those 4 people who signed up on the blog to receive all of the continued blogs that are created and uploaded. Okay, so that's an important part there. Now, you could do some of these advanced settings like UTM tracking and adding tags, and you could even resend this email if you want to. If they don't open it, you could enable this to like resend after 12 hours or something like that if you want to. Now, this is a super cool thing. The spam score is coming. So soon we'll be able to tell like if the email that we're sending has like spammy words in it or maybe too many links, whatever. And then we'll be able to tell that spam score before we ever send the email. So that's really cool. But to test this out, and again, this is so improved from how it used to be, because to test this out, we used to actually have to just wait. Like you could send it one time, but then you'd have to wait until the next time that a blog was uploaded. And so it was really hard to test, which made it really hard to determine what content you want to be in that email using those custom values, right? But here, it makes it really easy now to test this. All you need to do is enter in your sender email, and you also want to add a different email address, not attached to your business, so like a Gmail or something like that. Add that here. You're going to paste the RSS feed URL here, and then you can send that test email. When you do that, you'll receive an email and it will show you exactly what your subscribers to your blog will see when it's delivered into their inbox. So if you want to make some text bold, or you want to like maybe remove a couple of things and test some things out, that's how you want to do that. Okay. So that's how you want to set up your emails once you do this one time, to continuously send the updates to your blog to your list. Okay. Now, the next step is to notify all of the people on your social media that a new blog has been uploaded. So what we want to do is go into the social planner, the marketing tab. We're going to click here for new post, and you'll see this option here, RSS posts. So what you want to do is you want to paste your RSS feed here. You want to choose this different social media channels, and you can include your communities as well. Okay. So we can choose our social media channel. Let's say these are the ones that I want. And we can actually type in some text. So this says, please enter the desired text to append it at the end of the RSS feed. Okay, so it's going to have the content from your feed and then this text here. So that's really a great place to put your call to action. So it's going to tell about the blog. And then if you want to say, and join my free community at, you can type that text in here. You can also choose, when do you want this to check the blog for new updates? Once a day is perfectly fine, unless you're adding multiple things to your feed, because you can, if you guys really dive into RSS feeds, there are apps like RSS.app where you can create really advanced RSS feed URLs that combine multiple things. Like, let's say that you are in like the health industry and you want to get the RSS feed, you want to build one with the the CDC blog updates or the FDC or whatever it is that you want to create. You can combine all of those different RSS feeds into one feed, and then you can add that here to your social media. So really, really cool, the things that you can do with RSS feeds. But just using this example for the blog, you'll paste that in. Now, side note, you can also do YouTube videos. I do have a training in the knowledge base that shows you how to do that. Okay. So whatever RSS feed you want to add here, you're going to choose that. You're going to choose the channels you're going to post it on. You're going to add your text that will show up after the feed. How many times do you want to check the feed a day? And how many posts per update? So in that example, if you're only adding one blog post to a week, obviously that's not that big of a deal. But if you are creating an RSS feed with many different sources, then you maybe don't want that to post every single time, right? That there's an update. So maybe just one a day, but you could choose up to 5. So once you have that configured, you want to come here and create this post. Now you'll see my RSS feed, it's pulling in the latest blog and it has the link to the blog as well. But you'll see this image is the share image that is showing, okay? Not preferable, definitely not pretty. That share image is actually the image that shows, let me show you where it is so you can decide how you want to set yours up. But if I go to update post and I go to update settings, that image is this cover image here of this blog. Now, I have mine set up like that because my blog is basically like a knowledge base. So I don't go through all the trouble of adding the different images and things like that. I just have this kind of generic image that I have here. So just know, when you are setting up your blog and you're creating your posts and all of that, and you want to use the RSS feed or you want to share it on social media, just know this image here is the share image that will be displayed when you do share that on social media. All right. So once you create that post, you'll be able to, of course, that's it. That's all you have to do, just that one time. So you're setting up the email, you're setting up the post. All you have to do from that point on is create a blog post. It will automatically send the email to your list, and it will automatically post to all of your social channels without you having to do anything. Okay. Super, super cool. All of the things that you can do with RSS feeds. Now, before we go too deep and before I end this part of it and open it up for the Q&A session, I did want to do the drawing here for those who commented on last week's session. So if you went to the video that we did about the high-level chat widget and you commented chat below, It does enter you into today's drawing to win a private consultation with me. So before the meeting started, I went ahead and pasted that link there. We are filtering for everyone who commented chat, and I pulled in the comments. So there were 14 comments. Let's go ahead and pull this up. And it was great.
Thank you. Consultation, please.
All right, Miss Frankie, I will send you the calendar as soon as we're done here. And we could go ahead and do the wheel of names here, but let me stop sharing. And I wanted to ask you guys if you have any questions or any comments about that while I enter in all of these names. We have Martina and Andrea and Andrew and Charles.
That is really exciting to see that information, Bridget, and how it really does play into limiting the time from our 4-hour workday.
Mhm.
That is absolutely awesome, especially if you're blogging only once a month. That is a complete step that you don't even have to think about. Now, does that work when you also set your blog ahead of time and you schedule it to go live on X amount a day?
Yep.
And once it publishes, then your system takes over in automation?
Yep, it's gonna only check for published blogs. So you could schedule for the
Right.
next year, but don't just think about yourself. The exciting part is imagine creating this service for a client where all you do is
Yes.
and they pay you every single month and you do nothing. You just set it up. They're just paying for the tools. You spend zero time. That's awesome. If I didn't know how to set that up, I would definitely be happy to pay someone to do all of that for me. If I was a blogger, oh my gosh, for sure.
Sorry, Bridget, a quick, if there are no hands.
Yeah.
There-
Nope, go ahead.
On your training a while ago, I just wanted to know the subject, or do you get the subject to be dynamic, to fit, to be appropriate to your posts? I missed that.
Yeah. So when you're setting up the email campaign, you need to put something like universal. Check out our latest blog updates or something like that.
Oh, it wouldn't be able to have the exact one that pertains to that blog. Okay, all right. Makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, because you can actually send multiple blogs in one. So like if I had it set for like to look for like 5 different blogs, and then I would be sending that email and then bringing in 5 different articles in that one email. So when you're choosing that number, I chose one, but when you're choosing that number, like let's say that you wanted to send it every month and you do a blog every week, or maybe you wanted to have 2 different emails, like one where you send every week and then one where you send monthly with all of the blog posts. So that's because of that variation, that's what they have to do, because you could have one post or you could have 5. I do agree. I think it would be awesome for us to be able to take the title from the RSS and then put it in the subject. But as of right now, we can't do it that I know of. But it's also, you guys, great for YouTube. So let's say that it's the same exact process. So let's say you upload a YouTube video, you create the RSS feed, which you don't even need a special tool to do. So check the knowledge base and you'll see how to do it. But all you have to do is get that feed, and then the same exact process. Uploading the video is the same exact process as uploading a blog. So it's going to search the RSS feed however often you tell it to search. It's going to pull in however many videos, just like blog articles, and then it will also post that to your social media channels. Same exact process. So definitely really cool. Manola, you have a question?
Yes, if you get some other RSS feed, you said that you could combine them into one single RSS feed link. Where do we do that? Do you have a training on that? Because I know you have training on the RSS feed, but I don't know about combining.
You need to have like a special third-party software to do that. Like you could use rss.app. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. But that allows you, like those third-party tools allow you to pull in multiple different sources and get really customized, much more than what we could do with just the standard RSS feed link. it allows you a lot of different settings, and then it builds that custom RSS link for you so that if you do have multiple blogs, or maybe you want YouTube and you want like the blog and you want maybe some outside sources, you can actually build that out to create the one link.
You say RSS feed that app?
No, it's rss.app.
Thank you much. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're welcome. All right,
Oh,
let's
you
go
know what?
back.
I had another question.
Sure.
Labs. I tried to get to labs on, you said lab that Google, gohighlevel.com, and I couldn't get there.
It's beta.
Beta. Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't log in?
No, I couldn't find it. Beta that gohighlevel.com.
Let me see. Beta.go high level.
It just takes me to my own page.
Yeah. It just takes you to the high level sign in, and you'll sign in with your credentials, and then you'll get access to the dashboard in the beta version.
Ah, okay. And here the upgrade should be already in. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. So when you log in here, you're logging into the beta version of high level. So the beta version of high level is where they test all the new features and all of that. So you'll just have to log in there to get access to any beta features. And just, I know that you were here, Manolo, in open office hours, but just for everyone watching today and on the replay later on, just note that this is not a sandbox account. Okay. This is a live account. So anything that you build inside of the beta version of high level, it is a live build. Any changes that you make, they are live changes. So just note that when you do log in there, that you will get access to the beta features, but it is a live situation there.
Okay, I did get that, but where do I see? And this could be a dumb question. I'm sorry about that. Where do I see what features are on beta? Because I know lab.
Yeah, you just have to go know what you're looking for.
Okay. Like I was looking for the voice, the chat voice feature.
Yeah. So if it's available in beta, then that's where you're going to find it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. All right, guys, I want to make sure that I did not miss anyone. So if I do not call your name, let me know so we can spin the wheel here. So we have Martina, Andrea, Andrew, Charles, Frankie, Keith, Manolo. Do we have two? Manolo always throws me. Okay, yeah, Manuel. I just wanted to make sure. I think Manolo, you use that name.
Yeah, Manuel is
Yeah.
is a different person than Manolo.
Yeah. Well, sometimes Manolo uses.
Yes, I guess it's like a short name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I just want to make sure I didn't have a double entry there. Okay. And we have Sandy. Did I miss anyone? Going once, twice. Okay. So this drawing here is for members only. Those of you who do join us on Fridays for the group coaching session, you do get your chance to enter in to win a free private consultation. If you haven't noticed, with these free things that I give away, I love to reward action takers. So those of you that show up in open office hours, those of you that show up on the Friday sessions, if you haven't noticed, you guys are the ones who always win the most. And that's how I like it, because you show up every day, you put in the time and the effort. And so I feel like I want to help you the most. All right, so let's go ahead and spin the wheel so we can see who's going to be the next winner. Oh, that was so close. But Keith is the winner. That was so close. All right.
All right, I get the first one back from the big conference.
Yeah. All right, I will send it to you as well. So we have Frankie and Keith are winners today. Cool, cool. Congrats. All right. Did you guys have any other questions or anything? I do have an update I wanted to show you of the.
Yes, I do. I still okay. So like I mentioned yesterday, I do have a client, which is my friend. He Google business profile was suspended. I know this is not about high level or your part, I believe. But do you have an idea how I can get it back unsuspended? Like any advice?
So there's like a million and one reasons why that might happen. The best way is just to appeal the suspension. And if you can't appeal it, like if you've already tried to appeal it and it doesn't work, you would maybe have to create a different one.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, guys. A couple weeks ago, I showed you my live event strategy, and I did make some updates to it. So I just always want to be transparent and tell you guys what I'm doing, and hopefully you can take little pieces of what I do and then implement them where it makes sense in your own business. So let me go ahead and share with you this funnel update, and I want to share with you the follow-up process. Okay. As you know, I have a business card, has a QR code on it that I hand out to everyone. And when I hand it out, I say, make sure to enter in your info because I am going to be doing a drawing next Friday when I am in Dallas. And I'm going to add this to my YouTube channel. Okay. So remember, I am always saying how if you want people to do something, you need to give them some incentive. Okay. So they scan the QR code, they see this option here. I'm saying we're going to be doing this on YouTube. I'm prompting them to subscribe. I'm using that little special code. You guys, we've talked about lots of times that adds the subscribe, confirm channel subscription there. If you didn't see that code, let me just bring this up to you again. Let's see. It's basically, let's copy this. It's basically copy link address. Let me put this here so you can see it. All right, so this is what it looks like here. So it's basically your YouTube link, and then we have question mark sub underscore confirmation equals 1. If you add that to the end of the link of your YouTube channel, you can't do this for individual videos, but at the end of your YouTube channel, it will show up that little message there to prompt to subscribe to the channel, okay? So I added that there. And then, of course, I have this form where they can enter to win, and I'm gathering a little bit more information. Okay. Now, the next page, once they submit that, the next page is they go to my thank you page. So my thank you page here, I'm saying thank you for registering, prompting them again to subscribe. And then I'm saying I'm giving you a special bonus, which is access to the free community. Okay. Now here, I am offering the opportunity to sign up for high level. Now, most people already have high level at the summit, but they may not. And so I want to offer them to create one or upgrade and then check out all of the training that I've done on high level there with my bonuses. The next step is on this page, I'm saying need to outsource projects. And then I have this form here to submit to the team. I also have sign up for HL Pro Tools and my special offer and all the training that I have done for HL Pro Tools. Same with White Label Suite and Hey Levi. Those are all on my thank you page. So why would I do that? Because these are all high level users and these are all of my best resources. And so if I really want to be sharing value and helping people with all the things that I know, I want to showcase that on this page here. Now, what happens after we do the drawing or they submit the form? They submit this form here. I'm updating the opportunity pipeline. I'm also updating the spreadsheet because I'm doing a drawing and I want all of the names and everything to go to a Google Sheet so that I can just copy and paste into the comment picker that we just used for that drawing. I'm granting them access to the free community and the courses within the free community because I said that was part of what they were getting as a bonus. Now I'm also sending an email with all of the information. Hey, you've registered, and here's the link to the community, which is the magic link for the client portal. And then also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Then the second email, I'm explaining the AI Ads Manager. The third email, I'm explaining the services. The fourth email, I'm explaining HL Pro Tools. Fifth one is White Label Suite. And the sixth one is Hey Levi. So you see on my thank you page, I'm basically reiterating everything that I said on my thank you page in the emails, breaking it down by different tool and subject. Okay, so that's my whole follow-up process. And hopefully you guys got some value from that. So any questions? I think sometimes it just helps to like see things and it's one thing to talk about, yeah, just build an opt-in page and a thank you page, but it's a whole other thing to see like, well, what do you put on it?
Bridget, and for everyone, I came across issue just like you said that it requires mapping.
Mhm.
And there's a free tool that came across. You just drag it, any concept, any workflow or layout. I just discovered it recently, but I'm trying to remember the name, but it's free. You just have the boxes, you just schedule. I'll put the name when I'm through. Just wanted to say that because what you just laid out, it helpful if you really plan it. And that's what I am needing to do. Even for clients, when they said they want stuff,
Mhm.
you can draw it out visually.
Yeah, there's lots of tools that you can plan like a funnel visually. And I think if you're creating something for a client, it's good for them to see that process. For me, though, I've just done this so often, I don't, that to me is kind of a waste of time. But if I want to demonstrate this to someone else, yes, absolutely, you should use that. And I think that's great. And like when you're in those meetings and you're really working out the process, and especially before they're ready to pay, because it shows them everything that's involved in it's like, okay, I need leads. I'm Bob the plumber. I need leads. Okay, what does that even look like? But when you map that whole thing out for them, then they're like, oh, okay. There's lots of moving parts and lots of things involved here. So I think that's really good. Like I said, for me, it's just the pages, a form. What do I want to happen when they submit the form? So super basic. Charles, you have a question? If you're speaking, you're muted. And actually, you're not muted. I just can't hear you. Just to clarify.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Now you're muted. Keith, you can use like Funnelytics is one that you can.
Can
Okay, go ahead. You're really
I'm
breaking.
sorry.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I
I'll
can.
try.
You sound like you stroke.
Okay.
Charles.
So with the RSS feed, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So the RSS feed that you showed today, that basically is from blog posts. But if we wanted to incorporate something from YouTube, like when we post a video to YouTube, we'd have to use a third-party tool, correct?
No, not necessarily. Check out that article in the knowledge base. Look up RSS, and then you'll see how to. The only difference is it's just a different RSS feed link. So, like, if you wanted to send people every time you update a blog, you would build that automation, and then you would build a separate automation for sending people the YouTube video using the YouTube link. So it's just two different links. You don't need a third party to do
Those
that.
would be two
but-
emails.
Yeah, but if you did want to combine those things, you would have to
Right.
use a third party
Do
tool.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the point of clarification I was looking
Yeah.
for. Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. It is super cool to see that level of automation, and it's so simple.
Yeah, my RSS feed is going out, and I set it up the last time you did it, or you did the training, and I actually forgot about it. And I was dealing with a client, and I was like, "What's that email that went out?" And it was the RSS feed. I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I do be doing stuff."
Yeah. That's the exact thing we want to happen, where it's just like set it and forget it. That's literally the best thing. Because there's other stuff to think about and to do. And if you do create the
100%.
blog, it's like creating the blog, that's a time consuming process. I mean, much quicker if you're using AI, but that's all we really need to do. And think about, let's say that you have a blogger client and they just send you like a Word document with the blog on there. Imagine what you could charge for this service without them ever even logging in to high level. It's so crazy.
Yes, but
Yeah. Talk about a great entry level offer. You know, I saw someone on YouTube the other day was promoting a service that was exactly that. It was just for YouTube. It was the service that they were providing was, how would you like to send your leads or your list an email every time you add a YouTube video? Is like all of these things they were promoting, like sending the email, posting to social media for your YouTube video. And that was the service. And they were promoting this to YouTubers. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's like a 5-minute setup. That's so simple. But what a great service, because not everyone knows that that's even possible.
all about value, right? Value.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it doesn't really matter if to us the solution is easy. It's still a solution. It's a solution that people need. You guys have any other questions or anything?
Maybe just a quick clarification on the beta site. You said it's live, but so I have all of my sub accounts and everything set up in the regular site, and then I log into the beta site and I add a funnel to a sub account. It's still active in the regular site.
Yep. Yeah, so like let's say that in beta a feature is released, like let's say voice AI before it was released. If you wanted to test it out and you wanted to build your own voice AI agent and all of that, and you wanted to see, how it was going to work or whatever, you could log into beta.gohighlevel.com and build your voice AI and test it out and use it and all of that. But to make any changes or access it, you'd have to be in beta.gohighlevel.com.
So the actual beta feature, like in your example, the voice AI, will still work on the domain that I send it to or the phone number that I set it up on. But to edit it, I just go back to beta. But I can still
Yeah, it's
use it
just
live.
Yeah, it's just you have to access beta features. You have to be in beta.gohighlevel.com. That's really it. It's everything's the same, but you can't access features that are still in beta in the main high level account. You have to be in beta.gohighlevel.com.
Okay, but the contacts and the domains will still act with the beta features for the public,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. It's zero
I see.
difference. Yeah. It's
Okay.
zero difference. It's just if you want to access those beta features, you have to be in beta. So when you build it, nothing, that's why I say it's a live account, because the changes that you make are going to be live changes.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh. Charles, do you have another question, or you just forget to put your hand out because you're traveling? Isn't it so cool to be able to travel and like work at the same time? That blows my mind. Sometimes I think about like moving to another state or whatever, and it's like it kind of blows my mind all the possibilities. I could literally move anywhere in the entire world and do exactly what I do right now. That kind of just blows my mind. You guys have any other topics, issues?
Do you have any suggestions? So we were talking about the funnelytics thing and Miro boards or whatever to track for those of us with less experience, how funnels kind of spread out. And then when we have these RSS feeds that Charles forgets about for a year, but money falls in his lap because he set it up a year ago after he watched you. Keeping track of it all, especially if we have a lot of clients who have multiple sites and funnels and all this kind of stuff, do you have any tips for if we make a change or an update to know where to look and just to keep things in line?
Yeah, there's actually in each sub account, there is an audit log, and that tells you the latest changes and things that happened in the account and who made the changes.
I meant more for you as the architect of all of these different funnels and things, that making sure your business goals are aligned with what you've got set up, and not forgetting that you had a funnel for this or a funnel for that. I guess you just cycle through it regularly. Or
So why would you need to cycle through it?
for example, if I have projects that end, but I have multiple funnels and multiple automations still running for people that signed up for them, I don't always have firm dates. There's a lot of mystery dates for the work that I do in the future. So that's okay. I thought if there was some sort of best practice or obvious thing that people did who had hundreds of funnels or whatever.
I think the answer to that is really just how you like preparing for that. For example, naming conventions, right? When you are building automations, let's say that it was an automation that expired the last day of October. So what I would do is I would put all of those automations in a folder, and I would say like special event ending October 31st or whatever. And then now I know by looking in my automations that that expires. One of the things about like cleaning up accounts, for example, I never just delete things. I have a folder that I call archive, and I have a folder called trash. So archive means I just want to get it out of my face. And so I'll move things that I don't think I need, but I don't want to delete there. And then for things that I do think I want to delete, I'll move to the trash folder, and then I'll let them sit there for a while because I just want to make sure there's no moving parts somewhere that I haven't thought about or that just never occurred to me that it would break something and I would need that. So that eliminates a lot of things. So, for example, workflows, unpublish it, put it in the archive or trash folder. That lets you know if you're using it, or you continue working and something's broken, you're like, oh, okay, I really needed that workflow. Then you just go back to the workflow and publish it again. So it's not completely deleted. And then maybe if 6 months or a year from now, you haven't used any of those in the trash folder, then it's like, okay, good. I can just delete all this stuff. So that's really, it's being organized and being thoughtful about, okay, if I'm going to do this, how can I make sure that I remind myself? So maybe you want to create a task, maybe it's the naming conventions, maybe it's special folders, all of those things that you need to think about when you're building your system. Now, if you're doing this for clients, maybe you want to set tasks for yourself or something like that if you have to go into their account to do things. But it's really just what's the purpose. If you're afraid that you're going to turn something off, then put a note or something to remind yourself that there's a limit to this and it's something I need to follow back up on.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah.
And we wait for the AI super assistant to help us too.
Yeah. You might be able to use the Ask AI inside of your account and say, do I have any, I don't know, I'm just brainstorming now, like, do I have any automation? Well, so I was just thinking, do I have any automations that use this specific thing? But you can actually use in the, let me go into my automation tab. I don't know if you guys realize this, but you could actually use the advanced filters for all of your workflows here. So like if I am looking for, let's say that I know somewhere in my automations, there is a workflow that starts with a specific tag. So I'm just going to use trigger type as tag and apply. And then I can see all of my automations that start with a tag. Or maybe I want to be even more granular and I want to say all the automations that start with a tag and the status is published. Now I don't have any of my draft automations, only the active ones. I could even come back up here and say, and something else or whatever else. So you can just build all of that out and get super granular in that list so that you can check all of that out. You also can build out different lists, like a smart list for your automations. So like this one here, I use because these are all of the automations I have that are triggered by the change of a custom field, which is really important. And I use this a lot because, if I'm changing someone from like the free community to the paid community, I want to make sure, maybe before I do that, if my automations are new, I want to make sure that what's going to happen is exactly what I want to happen. So there's lots of things to like organize as you're going, and the better organized you are as you're building out all of these systems, the better it'll be for you later on when you have to go back and make changes. Sandy, you have a question?
Hey, yeah. While you're talking about tags, how do you delete one that you accidentally made? Like I started typing and then I've done this several times and I realize I have all these tags that I've not used, but I need to delete and I can't
Yeah.
figure out how to get rid of them.
Yeah,
It would be helpful.
you're probably like me because I hate a bunch of clutter and junk in my account, and I just can't wait to delete if I
Exactly. And I was a pharmacy tech, just a
Yeah, oh
lot.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, so all you have to do is go to your settings, go to tags, and then so if I wanted to delete this tag, I can just click there and do bulk action,
Okay.
deleted tags.
That's simple. I just couldn't figure it out. And I was like, okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. I hope that we'll have folders soon for tags as well, just like we do with the custom fields and custom values. That will definitely help.
Your organizations really helped me. And I don't know if you remember early on when I first started with your group, I said, well, it started with like MVA. And you're like, that just stands for My Vision Agency. And I'm like, now all my stuff has like podcast CRM, podcast CRM, or PT, and I'm like, okay, now I don't do acronyms.
That's okay. When you say the same thing over and over and over again, just like, GHL, people say GHL, MBA.
Yeah, my husband laughs because he does it all the time. He's like, the da da da, and I'm like, the what? 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 I don't speak that language. Just say the word. Don't give it me a abbreviated version.
He wants you to read between the lines. That's what it is.
He has a friend that talks like that. Like he's always like the EPA and the CS, whatever. And I'm like, what? It's like a different language. I have, yeah. And that's why I was so confused what MVA was that day. I'm like, well, it started with MVA, and you're like, all my stuff starts with MVA. And I didn't even know what it stood for. But now I understand organization. So thank you. That's helped tremendously. I just could not get rid of the tags. It was driving me crazy.
Yeah, I do not like clutter. That is exactly why I do the trash folder and all of that. So I just want to get all of the things I think I don't need, because then it's like, I'm relaunching the program at the end of the year with a new snapshot and all of this stuff that I've been telling you guys about, and I'm changing the plans a little bit. And so as I'm going through and creating new plans and new automations and all of that, if I hadn't cleaned all the junk out and had done this consistently, like in using my system, anytime I don't need an automation, I just add it to the junk. But if I hadn't done that, it would be so super confusing to try to like see, okay, if this subscription fails for this plan, what's going to happen and how many automations does it go to? And here's another tip that I talked to someone about today. When you guys are building your automations, think about how you're going to use it, right? Think about if you want to use the opportunity pipeline, and that's going to be like what you do every day, right? If you log in to start your day and you immediately go to the opportunities pipeline and you start, manually following up with leads, and then you want to move them to another stage, you're the exact person who needs to use that opportunity pipeline. So all of your automation should be built off of that pipeline. So when this happens, they fill out the form, put them in the lead stage. And then when they move from the lead stage to the second part, whatever, a free trial or whatever it is you're offering, when you move that card or that opportunity, or when you do this in automation somehow, you want that to be the trigger for that series of, in the workflow. So just be very conscious. Maybe you want to use tags. Maybe that's easier for you to trigger the automations. Maybe you want to use custom fields. Like I love custom fields. I love to just go, like, for example, if you are a paid member, I have MVA plan status, MVA plan chosen. So I know I can look and see that you're active. If you're canceled, then I can either build that in the automations, like subscription fails or whatever, or I can just move that to canceled, just right in the profile, just move it to canceled. And then as soon as I do, that triggers all the automation. So just be thoughtful enough to think about how you or your client is going to be using the system, because what works for you may not work for them. When we had our lawn care business, my husband never logged in ever to the system. I just had forwarded the information to his email, and then he would sometimes use the app and just add tags. That's all he did. He had 3 tags he knew to add. He would get the email, log in, add the tag. I even had a link to the exact place where he needed to go in the contacts to find that contact. And then he would just add one of 3 tags. That's all he really, he don't give him a list. Don't tell him to log in. He doesn't want to hear it. But he knew he could log in. He can add one of those 3 tags, and that's all he had to do. It triggered all the automations. So just be aware enough to know what your client actually wants, what's going to actually help them, and what's going to seem to them like you just gave them a part-time job where now they have to learn how to do a bunch of stuff that they don't really have a desire to learn to do or the time to learn to do. That's really the magic with automations. It's just making it very user friendly for the person who's using it. You guys, it is 3 o'clock already. How does time fly so fast? Okay. So next week, as you all know, I will be at the High Level Summit, and I will not be doing the open office hours or live coaching. This is a great opportunity for you to maybe get caught up on some training that you've missed or whatever. But I do want to let you know that I will be sharing content, a lot of content in the communities next week, because I was just saying before we went live here how, sometimes you share content when you're like in public events and YouTube or whatever platform, if there's music playing in the background, it's a copyright strike, or, if you're in a public place or a private place, I guess, and then people's faces are showing, sometimes that gets a copyright strike, or you get, your content gets removed, whatever, it's so much. But when you have your own community, you can share whatever you want to in the community. So I am planning to share a lot of content because I really want you guys to feel like you're there with me. And I also want you to see like really how cool these high level summits really are. So hopefully I can see you there next year. Thank you all so much for joining me. Go make your vision a reality.